Hello and welcome to the Art of the Oracle. We are going back to talk to the dragons again today through this really fun Oracle deck for the love of dragons. I got this deck in Florida. I was very excited because I was seeing dragons everywhere last year, and I continue to see them, but their presence was really profound for me last year, and I felt very, very drawn to it. I have to say I haven't seen that many, but I was seeing them in the clouds, and I still see them a lot in the clouds, and I was seeing them in the trees and things like that. Not that I was seeing live dragons, but I was seeing or feeling their energy around me. So I'd love to hear from you and what you think of the dragons, and if you see them, tell me how they appear to you. So we're going to tap in, ask for the highest wisdom and guidance for those on this channel watching now and in the future, or what we most need to know at this time. I have this beautiful energy here, and I have brought out this beautiful gift that I was given for my birthday that is Caribbean calcite. So thank you, Kate. The Ice Bringer. Wow, card 20. So that's really an interesting card, and I don't know that much about this image. I really don't. I don't know that I've even got this card out, and I've had this deck for almost a year. So the first thing I'm getting is this deep, rich blue, and which to me is associated with the third eye and being able to tap in and cool something off. That's what I'm getting from this, the Ice Bringer. And ice is a form of water, right? And one of the things, if you've followed Veda Austin, is that she studies water, and she does it through the crystalline phase. And it shows imagery, like before water comes from a liquid and goes completely into a solid, there's kind of like a midpoint where you can see hieroglyphs and images, and you can talk to the water, and at least that's what she's done. And I've explored it a little bit. It's very, very interesting. So there is something about like the water, and this going into this next stage of development is really what I'm hearing in the ice. So what the guidebook says about it is the cold has the power to suspend, to hold, to freeze, and until it's time to act. Well, that's very interesting. Great perspective, because we think of when we're in the winter as a time to kind of go inward and cocoon, almost like what a bear would do, hibernate, because we know inevitably something different will be born in the spring. But while everything is slowing down, we take our time and go inward as we face some of the coldness that's coming. It can be quite bitter. And I feel like as I'm reading this, that maybe that's part of what this message is asking us, is to go inward on some level, which is why I was picking up this third eye association. It says there is a protection in suspended animation. Now's your opportunity to embrace the power of the colder, more protective dimensions. Create hermitage, get still. Allow yourself the cold clarity derived from detached observation. The time for thaw and growth will come. For now, seek shelter in cooler energies. So, wow, that's very interesting. Let's see what the rest of the energy coming out is. So, a lot of this two energy, right? So we have the relaxer, and it's interesting that now we have this different phase of water. We see the steam coming up as the cold or the water freezes and boils. It creates this steam, and it's another way to experience it. And that's one of the things that I'm feeling. It's both of these cards together are asking us to kind of go within and stop too much of the outward focus. I have been guilty of that. I have been seeing a lot of crazy stuff on the YouTube and internet, and I was trying to like discern like what is real here, and what it's asking us to do here. And the message that I'm getting for all of us is that there is a moment where things aren't always as they appear, and perhaps they're in the next phase of development, which is what I feel like we're going through right now. And it's asking us to kind of relax into what that next phase of development is. Okay, so there's two more cards coming out. One, so isn't this interesting? So 2, 4, 8, right? And the storyteller. And the storyteller is very powerful. And the beautiful thing is, like, the outside of this is this rich blue that we see here. And so I think what it's telling us is what stories are we believing? Ones that we have been like fed through society, some that we have been given through time, ancestral information. The earth is telling a story, people are telling a story. And be aware, not everybody has clarity of mind, including ourselves, right? Because we have stories, victimization or trauma stories and things like that. We have love stories. We have, what kind of stories are you being drawn to? What are these stories? I'm drawn a lot of time to rom-com, because I am single. So I am drawn to that thing that I desire, which is those beautiful fairy tale fall in love relationships where, the unexpected pair, end up together in the end and they just love each other, and it's the best romance ever. So what are the stories that you're being drawn to? Because the reason why I shared that story is we're drawn to things sometimes that we're lacking or missing in our life or desiring. And it's not necessarily what we need, right? The stories the card, the storyteller, is telling us that stories have power, right? Because we can make up stories. There can be stories made up, which there are all the time out there. And they're created for entertainment. We call those movies. And then there are stories about history. We call those documentaries. Then there are stories about fairies and things, and we call those fairy tales, right? But where is the truth in all of this? The card says they can shape worlds, both interior and exterior, and it's asking us to go within. And the interior worlds are the ones that we're telling ourselves. Today, be mindful of those that you're telling yourself and of the ones that you're listening from others. And ask yourself, what are you getting from that? Are you getting relief? Like I get, when I see these, I think, oh, it's possible for me to have that kind of relationship as well. So that's why I'm drawn to those. What are the stories that you're telling yourself? Are they uplifting? Do they create potential for you, or do they just soothe something for you? Listen only to the stories that are worthy of you and reflect your magnificent nature. The dragons demand that you settle for nothing less than to live your legend. So isn't that interesting? So what we have is all of this that's telling us to kind of stop, relax, go within, and be mindful of the stories. Because the last card, let's see if I can move these. The last card that came out for us is card number 11. And when 11 comes out, I always feel like there's some sort of angelic message. And my clock just chimed as well. And so there's something in the 11 telling me that there's a divinity in what this message is bringing forth with the moon dancer. And the moon itself is this unseen thing. And that's what I'm getting from this whole reading here today, is that there is something that we need to kind of slow down and stop, go within, pay attention, relax. Don't take all the stories as fact. Pay attention to the stories that you're telling within yourself and what you're being drawn to without. Be very aware and be very present at what's going on, because the moon is like this unexpected aspect of all of that. It's like the hidden thing that comes out to reveal itself when you least expect it. It's like that full moon has this enormous, bold light about it, but there's also a mystery. It's so far away and still so much unknown. So this card is saying now is the time for dreaming and moon bathing. Mother Moon is friend to all dragons, for she incubates their dreams and grows wings for all their wishes. So that's what it was telling us in yesterday's reading, to go ahead and make some of that reality for you. It's about what it is that you want to create. So this feels like a creator card. Take a walk in the radiance of the moon. Have a conversation and tell her what your soul and wishes want to grow wings. Like, what is it that you want to become, or what kind of world do you want to see, and ask for guidance through the dark night and through this illumination. So it's like this and that, right? And we had a card out, it may have been yesterday's, that's exactly what we got, is like this and that is true. So there's something unknown and something forming for all of us. And so it's asking us to be aware of what we're paying attention on, the stories that we're telling ourselves, the stories that we're listening to outside, and the power within the stories. So people that tell stories that, you know, your attention is sucked into, it's power. It can be power for those storytellers. So just be aware of where your power is, what stories you're telling, and what stories you're listening to. So until tomorrow, have an amazing day. And thank you so much for being here at the Art of the Oracle. Bye now.